I'm here with Dallas, who's the co-founder of the awesome company DreamHost. Welcome, Dallas.
Thank you.
So obviously DreamHost is one of the largest hosters in the world, so congratulations on all your success over the years.
Thanks.
What are some of the things that you're really excited about that you've been working on recently?
Well, the biggest things I've been working on really is just our cloud strategy. We're doing cloud storage, and that's based on Ceph, which is the file system that we spun out into. Inktank was actually here. So that's in alpha now, but it'll be in private beta very soon. So, and then public beta pretty soon after that. So that'll be really exciting. And then we're using OpenStack for for a compute that's coming out later this year.
Okay.
It's farther along, but development's already going, and the team's working on that. So both those I think are very exciting because it's the next stage of our services. I'm excited to see if people use it and how they like it.
Right.
Because it's not what our traditional customer is looking for right now. But there's definitely some overlap. We have a lot of customers that are pretty technical now that use us for one type of thing,
right? And
that might be interested in using it for something else as well.
Of course, yeah.
And also along those lines, we're also we have a new data center coming up in Virginia, which is our first one.
Oh wow, on the East Coast, right? Because your other data centers are all on the West Coast, so
right.
This will be the
first one outside of the West Coast, yeah. So that'll give us some nice flexibility, and we'll be exposing that to customers as well for dedicated and VPS.
And when do you think that's coming online?
I think we'll have something live in there in probably September or October. Not actually sure. We have things there now, right. But it takes a little time to get it all in there and spun up. So
yeah, of course. All right. Yeah. So in the fall, you're going to be announcing it in the fall.
And that's probably around when our the first betas for our compute will be out as well. So for the cloud computing.
That's great. So
a lot of things coming. Yeah.
So you and your team have been hard at work, in other words, because these are a lot of different big projects and initiatives. Having it all come together.
Yeah, and that's just the kind of customer-facing one. There's all kinds of internal strengthening and improving the core, and even marketing things, working on our website, and we're working on improving the blog and making that more of a tool, and all kinds of things like that. So.
I feel like one of the really iconic things about DreamHost is the copy that you send out in your newsletters. Your emails that you send out are funny.
Yeah, and that started really with one of the other founders, Josh. He's just funny all the time, basically. That's just okay. He doesn't know how to turn it off, which is great. But Brett is our current VP of marketing who does it, and I think he's actually even funnier. So it became a thing. People tell us it's the only newsletter they read, and so it's almost like now we have an expectation of continuing to humor people while we also give them our news. That's
great. I feel like it's a good lesson for businesses to use it. Like you can still run a company and have humor in your marketing company, and your customers, like you said, will like it and enjoy it and want more of it. And so I think that's good. That's you're paving the way.
Yeah, I think it's good to expose a little bit of your culture back out. I don't think it hurts your product, and I don't know why more companies don't do it, especially in the internet space. I guess like so many companies want to look official and tough and strong, and I don't know what it is exactly, but I think you can tell too when you're dealing with a company whose employees really like working there. My best examples right now are Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and Virgin America. Like they just seem to enjoy their jobs, and it makes the whole experience and interaction a lot better. And so that's always been a focus of ours.
Yeah, I feel like all those companies and like DreamHost have personalities, and they're not afraid to show it, and I think that people embrace it because of that. So
right.
They start to build a really iconic brand.
Right. So hopefully we can keep growing that as well, making that often people say like what's a differentiator, because hosting's kind of a lot of shared hosting especially is pretty commoditized.
Yeah.
And we say it's it's our irreverent sense of humor, which is an odd a thing to differentiate on for a service, but some people really like it. It's a lot of our customers are fans as well, which is very cool.
That's great.
This year actually to that we did a tour, the Reach Out and Touch You tour, where we went around to 6 different cities just so we could meet the customers, and it was really fun. I went to 4 of the 6, and
Yeah, it was the one in San Francisco, and there was like a huge turnout, and people were so excited. And I mean, your customers really were excited to put a face to the service. And come and like actually meet you, Dallas. Like, oh my God, you started DreamHost, and
yeah, and most people just wanted to talk about things. Like, some of them had really great feedback on what they like and maybe what doesn't work as well. But yeah, overall, it was really fun just hanging out with them. And they're real people too.
So, I mean, obviously, a lot of things have been going on in DreamHost, which is great. And I mean, and you've been in the hosting industry for a really long time. What are some of the? I mean, when you look out, what do you think are some of the changes that lie ahead for the industry?
Well, something I've noticed recently is increased advertising to like mainstream advertising, like TV. Actually, on the plane here, they have DirecTV on the plane, and I didn't have it on, but in 2 different seats, I saw both a Web.com commercial and a GoDaddy commercial.
Oh, wow.
So it seems to be increased. I know 1&1's been doing it as well. So those larger ones are starting to really target more mainstream. GoDaddy has for a long time consistently, but I'm starting to see it more for the other ones. And so that's interesting that they're deciding it's worth the money, to go that way. And they're kind of fighting after the people who don't have websites yet, and they're all trying to make it easy to use. It says things like easy website builder and that kind of thing, which is probably to compete with the people who get stuck on Facebook, and a lot of even companies they're just all in on Facebook, which I think is a mistake in the longer term. But
well, I think that there was this scare early on that Facebook would be like winner take all and abolish websites, and that everybody would just create a page on Facebook. But I don't think that's turned out to be the case. I mean, like you said, some businesses, but most people, it's a place to connect with their customers, but they still need a website. So you want more functionality, you want more messaging. I mean, you still want to be in control of that, and so I think it's turned out that Facebook has been much more of a vertical. They've become much more vertical rather than like winner take all sort of thing. And
yeah, maybe more of an interaction platform. And
right, exactly.
Yeah, so I think as long as you use it as part of your overall strategy of communicating, then that's great. But you still should have that website of some sort that should really represent. You should have control over that interaction with the customer. Yeah, and we're also, I think, on the sort of more high-tech level, we're going to start seeing in the cloud, I think, more differentiation of services such that there'll be more specialization. Instead of the sort of monolithic cloud stack that's, Amazon or even Rackspace, I think you'll start seeing people pick and choose. You get your storage from one place and your compute from another. Maybe those are the same, but, people already use notification or monitoring separately, and they use emailing separately, but I think you might see database specializing and all these kinds of things, and as the network gets faster, I think developers with their infrastructure will really be able to build their sort of dream platform that way, which I think will be pretty interesting. It's probably still years out, but it makes sense it'll go in that direction.
But you've been in this industry for a long time, and so it's kind of like this is where it's heading. And I think you're right. This idea of special purpose uses, and a lot of more partnering across companies.
Yeah, and I think that opens up room for smaller cloud providers, like us coming in. Like it's not going to be just all Amazon.
Right. No.
They're doing great. They're really pushing the whole idea forward. But increasingly, people are going to want to differentiate for both redundancy and availability, but also I think just to get a more premium service. And I mean premium feature-wise, not necessarily performance or anything.
That's great. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and excited to see everything that DreamHost. We're excited for your big news to come out in the fall, so I'll watch for that.
Yeah, that'll be very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you.